Welcome. In this course, we'll design a C++ compiler from scratch. This is an intermediate course. The only prerequisite you need is a good understanding of the C++ language. The tools required is a computer with VS Code installed in it, or any other good C++ IDE you have. So our aim in this course is to be able to open a C++ file, copy its contents, and compile it using the RxV assembly language. With the knowledge gathered from this course, you will also be able to compile in any assembly language of your choice. A knowledge of RxV is not compulsory. I will attach some files to aid you in understanding the syntax, and I'll do my best to explain where necessary. So let's begin. The compiler is a software that converts a program written in high-level language to a low-level language, which is the assembly language. The task we would perform in this course includes: number 1, we write a program that opens a C++ file, copies its contents, then closes the file. Next, we'll design the lexical analyzer. Then the third task is to design the syntax analyzer. Then the fourth task is to design the semantic analyzer. And finally, we are going to design the intermediate code generator. So let's get started. First, create a folder named compiler or any name of your choice. That will be our project folder. Then open it in VS Code or any C++ editor you are using. We create a new file called fileopener.c++. This file will be used for our task 1, which is to copy the content of a C++ file. So we are going to start by initializing our basic headers. Line 1 is a header file that includes every standard library in our main function. On line 8 is used for performing read operations on file. A special pointer called file pointer is used, which is declared on line 8. On line 9, we open the file in read mode. Our file in this case is test.c++. That is the file we assume we are compiling. Then on line 11, we check if the file exists by checking if the file pointer is null. We print an error and exit, else we are going to copy the content. To copy the content, we first calculate the size of the file. Then we'll create a char pointer of the same file size and now copy the contents into that char we created. So we start on line 18. We first of all move the file pointer to the end of the file using the fseek method and selecting seek end. Fseek is used to move file pointers associated with a given file to a specific position, and it can move to 3 different positions. The first one is seek end. That means you are moving the file pointer to the end of the file. Then the next one is seek set. It means you are moving the file pointer to the starting of the file. That is the beginning of the file. Then the last one is seek current. It means the current position of the file. Then on line 19, we calculate the size of the file from the beginning of the file to the file pointer, which is currently at the end of the file. So we'll be using ftel to calculate the size of the file on line 19. ftel in C++ is used to find out the size of the file with respect to the starting position of the file. So now we are calculating from the beginning of the file to the file pointer, which we've positioned to the end of the file. The size of the file is now stored in file size. Then on line 20, we take the file pointer back to the beginning of the file. On line 21, we create the null char buffer and assign it to the size of the file on line 22. The name of this char is called buffer. On line 23, we check if the buffer is 0. Then the memory allocation is not successful. Else on line 28, we read the contents of our test.c++ file into the buffer using the fread. function. Then if all is successful, we print file successfully opened. Line 32 and 33, we delete the buffer and close the file. And finally on line 36, we return 0. So to read more about file handling in C++, check out this link. It's from geeks4geeks.org. Next, on my command line, I will navigate to the project folder and run the file for the first time. Then when you run it, you get a failed to open file error is thrown because I have not created the test.c++ file. Then next, I'll create the test.c++ file in our project folder, and when I run it again, it's going to print file opened successfully. Then next step, since we are going to be compiling any kind of C++ file that will come with different name, not just test.c++, so we need to find a way to be able to input any name of any C++ file name on the command line, and it will be able to be compiled. The way to do this is to add the file name on the command line so that we'll be able to read the file name from the command line. So to do this, we will write our main function to be able to read command line arguments. Then on line 6, we pass the argument to a char called file open, and that is going to replace our test.c++ file on line 9. Now we can compile any file. Let's test it again on the command line. So to read more about command line arguments, please check out this link on Geeks4Geeks. Then on line 29, we'll not just output file open successfully. We are going to call the next function that will compile our file for us. So the next function is going to be a scanner. The scanner will be able to scan through our file, searching for what we call tokens. So in our next class, I'll show you how the scanner scans our C++ file